Hey guys, this is Nito King once again with Rayman. Today we're going to be entering Bandland for the first time with Bongo Hills. And believe me, if Ubisoft wanted us to like Bandland, they wouldn't have started with this level. Check it out. The first thing you gotta deal with here is slippery floors. Pretty much everywhere. And of course, hills. Hills plus slippery floors equals absolutely no traction whatsoever. It's just a huge pain, but you can make incredible jumps if you build up enough momentum. Then you got these little platforms with either music notes or bows on them. I've never actually been able to tell. They keep appearing and disappearing. The white ones don't disappear, that's the only difference. And the blue elf shrinks you, which is the only way to fit through these tiny gaps. And then you got the grasshoppers. They only take 2 hits with a golden fist, but if you don't have the golden fist, you will hate them. And that speed fist is the only reward you get for coming this way. No cages, no one-ups, nothing. I hate Bandland. Nice music though. Now we gotta use these springy clouds to jump up. Attempt to get to the elevators anyway. And bounce on the snare drum, which for some reason seems to be wearing a scuba mask and flippers. None of the imagery makes sense. I just can't explain it. So now run and duck. So you can get enough momentum to make that incredibly long jump. We're not done yet. If you ride this platform back to the left, more of them appear. And now we can finally get to this well-hidden cache of tings, which causes a cage to appear. And believe me, I have jumped a little bit too high in that direction and found myself up on the slippery ledge without actually making the cage appear, and had to go all the way around. Not fun. And of course, I have said before that this level is hard. You haven't really seen a lot of that quite yet, but we'll be getting to it. Right now it's all just tricky jumps to get at secrets. Like those clouds up there. I don't know how I managed to make it on the 3rd attempt, and it's just a little bit of extra health. It has these pounding mallets with good timing, and we can climb up these disappearing ledges. Gotta watch for those eyes. If they blink, that means they shoot lightning at you. And they're everywhere. Right now you're only dealing with one, so it's not that big a deal. It's the disappearing ledges that give me so much trouble, I swear. And if you deal with a couple of anti-tunes, you get some tings, and that's it. I think there might have been a cage there in the PC version, but I don't know. My guess is not. Because this is a very, very long level. It's got 6 areas in it, and only one of them doesn't have a cage. Which means when I come back here to get the cages I missed, I will have to play through almost the entire level again. It's only just begun. So on to the second area, where lots of anti-tunes are appearing. I don't know why I turned invisible just then. I think that was an encoding thing. But there's no real point to taking the bottom path, except that you might be able to kill the grasshopper before climbing onto the ledge. And now I'm surrounded. You don't have to kill them, and these ledges up here have nothing on them. This part of the level is notorious for having to know what's coming so that you can react to it in time. A lot of these clouds fall down, and you have to know when to jump. And hey, cage number 2 up there on the left. I'll be getting that eventually. Alright, solid ground very briefly before we have to start jumping across disappearing ledges, and those music notes with the pointy tips are instant death in a lot of cases. I think all the ones here are. Those might just hurt you, but if you hit one you're going to fall down and die. Those anti-tunes will drop on you if you don't kill them before you walk under them. And by jumping over the exit, we make an elevator appear. And finally, having made it all the way to the exit, we get to go all the way back and get the cage. Which is here. And make sure you don't miss that punch, or you have to go all the way back around. More recording oddities. I have no idea what's going on with that. Also, don't make those jumps too high, or you'll hit the anti-tunes above and fall down and die. The don't miss this by more than about a pixel or you will die is kind of a running theme for, well, Bandland specifically, and also the rest of the game. Fortunately, we didn't have to repeat too much of that scene to go back and get the cage. And here's part 3. More of these maraca platforms, but these actually have rockets on the bottom. And they move a lot faster than it looks like. You move from side to side to make them move, and try not to get smashed against the ceiling. Actually, if you do hit the ceiling, you'll just fall through. But if you don't hit enough spikes on the way down to kill you, you'll have to go all the way back up. You make your way through that maze of maracas, and I'm not going to bother with that extra health over there because I don't need it, and it would be a real pain to try to get. That cage is actually surprisingly easy to get, unlike most of the other ones. We can finally move on with the level, and those spikes are really tricky to dodge, and oops. I fell off, but rather than go back down and try to navigate my way through those spikes without taking too much damage, I'm just going to move over to the left. There's a bunch of tings there and another platform. Got to get to about the center of this area. And more of these spikes. Just keep moving side to side. Almost done. I'm gonna kill this mantis or grasshopper, which is always such a pain. Grab the one up. Probably worth leaving there, actually, because you might have noticed, I don't think I ever did until this playthrough, but when you get a 1-up, it refills your health completely, in addition to giving you an extra life. But they never respawn. Alright, halfway through the level. We're getting there. And now here's where the level starts to get hard. This part seems to be nighttime for some reason, and there are eyes shooting lightning bolts everywhere. Right now it's just 1 or 2 at a time, but they're going to become much more of a problem soon. Especially when you're trying to make your way through the spikes. And having taken a couple hits, I figure I'll just go back and grab the health pickup that I skipped. You can't really make some of these jumps in one try. You've pretty much got to get hit. Hit the spikes, jump up even though Rayman appears to be invisible, and grab the side of the ledge. And up there is a hook which leads to the cage for this scene, but I can't get to the cage from here yet. As you'll see, it's way over here, and I can't jump that far even with the help of the grappling hook. So that's why I'm going to have to come back when I've got a power that lets me do that jump. Otherwise, I'm going to drop into what looks like a bottomless pit, but is actually yet another secret area. Enough tings for a 1-up, which is always helpful. Again, not that I plan to lose many lives in the actual playthrough, but it's gonna happen inevitably. Just keep walking. Nothing to see here except lots and lots and lots of lightning. And this is possibly the first part of the game where actually running out of health is a major threat, as opposed to getting hit at an inopportune time and falling to your death. Here's a nice, well-hidden secret. There's got to be a cage here. But no, it's just a 1-up. And this elevator might take me all the way to the right so I can jump to that ledge, but no. I think that might be a shortcut from earlier in the level, actually, but I didn't really want to experiment at this point. Just getting up to here took me many tries. Around here I decided to stop taking risks and just make sure I finished the level. Over there to the left is yet another cage, which requires a very convoluted series of events to get. And I will show you that, but I won't even be attempting to get it in this playthrough. Now, if you ride on this platform too far down, you will hit the spikes, and you will take damage, fall off the platform, and then die. Now you can see there's a blue elf down there, and way off to the left is a platform with another blue elf. What you have to do to get the cage at the beginning of the level is get yourself shrunk, get back to the beginning of the level, and then ride the Bongo or Maraca platform while you're little, so that you can fit through a tiny gap and get to the cage. And I got lucky there. Again, a lot of the time, if you get hit while you're trying to ride these platforms, you'll fall into the spikes and die. And there's the end of this scene, but before hitting that, I'm gonna go get yet another secret. And hey, it's the only time in this level you'll see 2 cages in the same scene. And in this case, getting to the cage isn't much of a problem. It's getting back that's annoying. But the good news is, if you die along this path, again, probably from taking too many hits, all you gotta do is start over at the checkpoint and get to the end. The cage still counts. I was kind of surprised that I actually caught that elevator. Then moving on to the final scene. We're almost done. In the home stretch. Can't be that bad, right? Well, except you gotta deal with this guy. Giant spiky hands that shoot lightning. And you have to jump over these spikes or they will kill you. And then you got an eyeball shooting lightning at you with disappearing platforms. And of course we need to get up on that ledge to get to the left. Even though there are no cages in this scene, I've got to get every secret. And get hit in the process. Oh well. Moving on, more lightning eyes. I don't know how I dodged that one. And there's an extra health pickup, but it's a trap. Observe. Not that the lightning is too difficult to dodge, I think it's still worth getting it if you need it. Impossible jump with disappearing platform. Make sure you time your jump very carefully. And now, up to the right is going to be another secret. I don't think I want to shrink myself before attempting this. And nope, missed the jump. And there goes half my health. Alright, I'm going to have to fill up before I try that again. So shrink down, fall through the gap, and get the extra health. Grrr. Okay, take 2 at the secret in the upper right corner of the level. Just gotta get through this giant minefield of spikes. I can do it. I can do it. It'll just take some patience and careful maneuvering. But almost got hit there. And the secret is nothing. A bunch of tings. And didn't quite make it. So that's what happens when Rayman dies. He explodes into a bunch of Electoons. We'll try it again. I mean, now that I know I don't need to go that way, the rest of the scene should be pretty easy to handle. Just gotta... Dick move, game. Dick move. Take 3. That was really fast. And speaking of fast, I'll just speed through the rest of it. Take 2 hits early on, and then just don't get hit again until you get to the power-up. And this is where we left off before, when all I would have had to do to beat the level, without losing any lives, is come this way. And there it is. I hate my meticulous item gathering self sometimes. So that's it for Bongo Hills, until I return for the other 2 cages that I couldn't get this time around. Next time, Allegro Presto. Yeah, it's about as bad as it sounds.